So a lot of people have been asking me why I started the Fit Fine Flawless and what was the reason. So the number one reason was because I wanted a fatty. The number two reason, I wanted to look good in some clothes. Okay, those were the reasons. Very surface level, very vain, but you're so vain. But it ended up working out because I ended up saving so many lives. Here's the So people were sliding in my DMs back in the day. Actually, not even back in the day. I still get these type of DMs talking about how they wanted to get illegal plastic surgery because they were denied due to medical reasons in the traditional sense. Okay, if you get denied here in the United States, you can go ahead and go down to Mexico, and some people would just ignore everything. Matter of fact, you don't even gotta go that far. A lot of times they would do it even if you have medical underlying conditions in Florida. And I was one of those people that was willing to do whatever, whenever, how to get that body out of y'all. So, the reason why I didn't do it was because I saw firsthand what can happen if you go to the wrong person and they don't listen to what is on your chart. Death, okay? Death. That's what I'm getting to. So back in 2013, I was obsessed with this woman named Body by J. Okay, I was obsessed. I was engulfed in her content. Okay, and then my homegirl pulled me to the side. She's like, "Listen, you doing all this different type of stuff? Do you know that she got work done?" I'm like, "Ain't no way, ain't no way, ain't no freaking way." And she was like, "Yeah, she got work done, and we got work done too. You know that, right?" I was like, "No, I didn't know that. I thought y'all was just lifting a little bit heavier than me, and I was just trying to max out like y'all. I wanted to be, like the big kids." But my body naturally was a certain shape, so I was like, I can't really go against genetics, so I gotta just work harder. Who cares? Grind harder. Gang, gang. Gang, 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 gang. Ice cream, so good. Anyway, so they ended up telling me that they got work done. They ended up telling me that she ended up getting work done. And I was also obsessed with this girl named Guam Fitness. I was obsessed with her. They ended up telling me like, yo, she got work done too. So what's the deal? Like, you want to get work done or you want to just keep killing yourself in the gym? Like, you can still look good, but I think it got a cap on it. But I remember back in the day, okay, my daddy told me I could do anything I put my mind to. And I took that seriously. Now, it didn't really pay off for me every single time. My dad was like, you could do anything you put your mind to. Like, okay, a lot of times I made a bunch of bad decisions, but we're going to get back into the story, okay? So, not too long ago, I was on 7 different medications for my depression and anxiety, and I was able to get off of them by just using herbs instead, okay? St. John's wort, ashwagandha, valerian root, maca, okay? Those are the type of things I was taking in order to get off of those medications underneath, okay, the guides of a medical professional, okay? Don't go out in these streets and tell your doctor that Samantha told me that I could take St. John's wort and get off of my depression medications. No, please make sure you consult a doctor before you did what I did. Because a lot of times I was taking myself off medications, ended up getting in a real bad spot, had to go to the emergency room. It's a whole thing, okay? Don't do what I did. Do it underneath the guides of a medical professional. Anywho, to be back into the story. Okay, so I was able to get off of those medications that they told me that I would be on for the rest of my life. Okay, doctors told me that I would be on medication for the rest of my life. Okay, they also told me that I would never be able to have a full-time job or sustain a long-term relationship. But you know what? God didn't say that for me. It was not my story. Okay, number 1, I've been married forever. Okay, number 2, I've been off of my medications forever. And number 3, I worked a full-time job. Matter of fact, I worked 2 full jobs before I even started the Fit Fine Flawless. So, So, I was like, okay, if I was able to cure my depression and anxiety with herbs, let me go ahead and put some herbs together to go ahead and get fatty. Because I was doing some research real late at night. You know how sometimes you just up at 2 o'clock in the morning and you don't really know why? God's trying to tell you something. God told me to go ahead and look up some herbs to get a bigger butt. But before that, I was like, let me go ahead and actually study herbalism. 6 years later, okay, I had the final formula thicker than a Snicker cream. But before that, I had the very first version. I had no idea that you had to strain tinctures. Okay, those of y'all that don't know what tinctures are, it's basically herbs within like either oils or alcohol, okay, and glycerin and some sort of base where you like either let it sit for a set amount of time or you add heat to it to speed up the process. So I had no idea that you had to strain the tincture. So my very first version of the thickening the scent cream was very chunky and smelled like maple syrup mixed with death. But it worked. The crazy thing is that it worked. And I gave it out to my clients for them to try because they were like, girl, your butt be looking a little bit juicy. Did you end up going to go ahead and get butt injections? Did you do that? I was like, no. I started using this cream plus workouts. They're like, let me hold some of that. And me being me, I was like, okay, just so you know, this is a prototype. And it is a bit funky. Go ahead and mix it with some Bath & Body Works or something to make that thing all work out. And I was selling this stuff out of my gym bag for $15 a piece inside some mason jars. Needless to say, it worked. Lost on my personal training clients, but the Fit Mind Flawless was officially born. Okay, and then I started working on the Get Snatch cream. Okay, because I wanted my waist to be super, super, super dumb small, and I was able to do that. Okay, so that's how it was born. Okay, no caps, no cut up choppiness. This is a real raw video. Okay, let's get it.